knew what I meant. So don't even come for me this morning. Thank you, Marie.
I'm going to try and get my phone from the railway. Would you shut the fuck up, yeah? My phone, guys, my phone has been dropped from the railway.
Will you shut the fuck up, yeah? Yeah? Shut the fuck up, yeah?
Oh, wait, as you can hear me, I was on the phone talking. I'm going to come and get you. What the fuck is the train coming by? What the fuck? Look on my phone on the railway. That's an expensive phone. Shut up. That's an expensive phone that has been dropped on the railway. I'm going to come to scare you guys. What the fuck? Can someone help me? I need to get my phone. It's been dropped on the railway. I'm going to come and get you guys. Stay there. Stay there. I'm coming.
Oh my God. Morning, Danielle. Morning, Stace. Big love, Miss Smith. Oh, justice for the phone. It did survive. There we go, guys. So, what I was thinking about doing is, right, can I shut that door now? The spider's gone. What I was thinking about doing is, probably at some point over the weekend, let's show some of the most iconic moments on TikTok, and that would include myself, especially, you know, with the BBC News theme when I was dramatically leaving TikTok. So, guys, get tagging me in your most iconic moments on TikTok. So for me, it would be Angie in the train track, Kipsy, not at night time. There's so many. So get tagging me in them on the FYP page and we'll go over it the weekend. All right, guys, we'll just have a bit of fun with it, really. So we're getting into all this bloody drama and everything else that's going on. Yeah, and like we'll open the boxes and you can come in and tell me the glitter bomb. Come and tell me what your favourite moments were. Positivity only. No sad stuff, just positive stuff, all right? Right, guys, so that's the funny video. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over everything that's happened over the last 24 hours regarding Rickstar, EQ, Corey, Levi, and the whole situation. All right, guys? And I'm going to have my honest opinion on this situation. All right, non-biased and honest opinion. And I'm sorry, guys, if you don't like what I've got to say, I do apologise, but it's just how I feel personally, okay? And the one thing that I will be is, I'll be truthful with this. All right, everybody? Right, so let's start with Miss Remy, because Miss Remy predicted, she's got some kind of, you know, powers that predicted that something was coming, something was going to happen. All right, guys, so we'll start with this. But little did we know it was going to happen within 24 hours of her making the video. She's got a sixth sense, darling. This, look, for people saying that this is a storyline, please, I can assure you this is no storyline. I can assure you that. So anyone's coming with your tin hat on saying it's all storylines, unfortunately, it's all very real. All right, so anyway, let's start with Miss Remy.
Do you ever get the feeling that something terrible is about to happen? Because for the longest time now, I have this horrible sense that this is the year that something absolutely awful is going to happen on UK drama TikTok. Now, I've already said this before in my lives, but if you've not been in the room or it's not been screen recorded, you've probably not heard me say it. So I'm going to put it in a video because I think this is a prediction that is likely to happen and absolutely terrifies me. do me a favour, watch until the end and let me know in the comments what you think about what
Thank
I'm
you,
about to
Hippie
say.
Gumbo.
And also, if you don't know about UK drama talk, this video isn't for you, but you should still watch it all the way to the end anyway. So I think it's fair to say things have been getting pretty bleak on UK drama TikTok, with arguments, fights going lower and lower and lower, and behaviours spiralling out of control. Last year was the year when we entered into doxing, where people would take things off the app and go and find people's home addresses, workplaces, family members, children, and would post them onto this app. And weirdly, I feel like we're at a point now where doxing one another is now at some sort of normal level that is almost expected and accepted now, and that in itself alone should be terrifying. But the reality is now, with doxing at its peak, that people are not afraid anymore, because you almost know if you get into an argument with someone, that someone will find your personal information and will put it out onto this app and expose you. So my logical brain
Thank you,
goes,
Claire.
well, what's next? And I can't help but feel like this year, 2025, is going to be the year where something terrible is going to happen to somebody involved in UK TikTok drama.
Agree.
This is the last thing I would ever want to see, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope this never happens. But things are getting worse. And I'm not being overly dramatic here. If you're somebody like me who sits back and watches and listens, and you hear the language and you hear the threats and you hear the anger that is currently
Thank you, everyone.
the bloodline of UK TikTok right now. It's everywhere. Every room you go into.
Yeah, thank you for that, JD. Guys, do you agree with Miss Rami? Sorry, I'll get your name out in a minute, darling. Are you agreeing with Miss Rami on this? Happy face, yes. Sad face, no. Do you feel like this is just going to get wild and someone's eventually going to do something silly, or something's going to happen? Happy face, yes. Sad face, no.
There is anger, there is fighting, there is rage, people taking things so personally and not remembering that this
Thank you,
is
Liz. Thank you,
an
Lily.
app on their phone that they could just close and get on with their lives. I really believe this is the year of escalation, and that somebody is going to get hurt, because words on this app are no longer just words. We've already had people getting in cars to go and meet people, and I'm so fearful for people that we are now entering a stage where people are going to turn up to houses, or they're going to send people to houses. I mean, we've already had that towards the end of last year. And I think the pot is about to boil over. And look, my prediction is 2025. I really think someone from UK drama TikTok is going to get hurt, because things have gone too far and they continue to go far, and there is no boundaries, there's no reining in. And it keeps on escalating daily, over and over and over. And at some point, it's going to explode. I don't have a solution. I don't know how we make this stop. This is just my observation, my prediction, that now that we've peaked with doxing, to me, the next logical step is off-app interactions, and somebody's going to go too far. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't even know how to end this. Maybe everyone just needs to look at each other as humans, try and find a little bit of kindness for one another, to let some things go, and to not keep dragging up stuff over and over again. It's already gone too far. And I am absolutely terrified of what I think is coming. I hope I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if you agree, or if I'm just an overly dramatic bitch. Okay? Thank you. Do you ever get the feeling?
Now that, and do you know what? I never sin. It's Remy, are you here, darling? I genuinely didn't see that video until yesterday. You know, I was on and off my phone and I was listening to all the commotion in the background, you know, while we were decorating and everything. And I actually hadn't heard that video. And then, like literally the next day, for what happened to happen is just absolutely wild. But to be honest, I think as viewers, you could kind of like see that something was going to come, because like I say, this year, for me personally, and all the time I've been on TikTok, has been probably one of the most intense, toxic. I mean, last year was toxic, but it's just, you know, and like, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, my hands ain't clean. I'll be honest with you. You know, I'll always own up. I've played my parts at times, but it's just got to different levels now where people are turning up to people's houses. People are fucking doxing addresses. Exactly, Miss Remy. People, you know, calling each other peddlers and whatever. You know, you've all been watching, you know, your eyes ain't bloody closed. So I'm going to play the video. Obviously, you know what video I'm going to play. What I want to do is, I want to put, obviously, me and the person's video that I'm going to play, obviously Evil Queen, we don't get on. I'll be honest with you, I don't like her. You know, I'm not going to lie and sit here and say that, you know, my opinions, all right, guys? But I'm going to push, and I have to push aside everything that has happened, as bad as it's been, to have a real opinion on this situation. So I'm coming from a woman's perspective, a mother's perspective, a grandmother's perspective. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to say, well, this person did this person did that. I'm going to talk about the here and now and what's happened in this situation, because I don't want to be biased. I want to be honest. All right, guys? Rickster and another man turn up at Evil Queen's house. Right, okay, so that's where it all started, okay? Now, we all know the history of Evil Queen and Rickster, and at moments, you know, I've been involved in all that. Obviously, it's how this platform started, by me reporting on what was going on in that situation. This is wrong. At the end of the day, like I say, me and this person probably have the most horrendous, toxic beef going on. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs, you all know, but men turning up to a woman's house in the middle of the night, it doesn't, look, we all know the situation has got out of control, okay? But it's wrong. Me as a woman, if I was on my own and men were, we know that people poke, we know. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to, this person did this, you know what's happened. And it's okay if you don't want sympathy, that's fine. But for me, for men to turn up, it's so wrong. You know, I could understand, right, if it was Talia and a friend, you know, but at the end of the day, she's outnumbered. All right, guys, she's outnumbered here. And it had that door have been open, we don't know. It could be a different situation. Now, he said that he'd done it just as a warning, but we don't know. We don't know that. And like I say, just for this moment, I will push aside, and I want to push aside what's been said about me, Luke, and everything else. This was so fucking wrong. Because coming from a woman, and this is what I was thinking about, right? I'm not crying, guys, it's my eyes. Obviously, I've got hay fever. I have been in a situation, right, and I'm going to revert it back to me because I've been in a situation where this has happened. I had an ex-partner that I suffered DV with, and he come banging on my door. It was about 7 o'clock at night, and he literally nearly kicked the door through. And the kids and me had to hold the door up to stop this guy from getting in. Had this guy got into my house, it would have been a different situation. And it took 20 minutes for the police to come out. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, obviously we know the person that it's happened to isn't an angel, but in this situation, that was wrong. And this is why it's going too far. Rickster, you have lost your argument now by doing this. It should have been left in the hands of the police. It's going too far. All right? And as somebody that's been doxxed, I can relate to how you feel. 1 minute, guys. My door's knocking. Sorry, what was it? Okay. So guys, as I was saying, sorry it was a food delivery. Rickster's at the door. Guys, it's not a joking matter. So, where was I? So, obviously I've been doxxed, right, over the last couple of months. And for the first 2 nights, I never slept. Because obviously, with being a TikTok creator and being known, you don't know what weirdo's going to turn up to the door. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't know who's going to turn up to the door. But the thing is, for me, I've got Simon here. I'm not on my own. Do you know what I mean? So the likelihood, if someone did turn up to my door, Simon's going to handle it. You know? So I'm not here on my own, as where, you know, said person was. And I'm sorry if you think I've sold out or, you know, I'm just looking at it from a woman's perspective of, you know, being in the property on your own and, you know, the person that you was in a relationship with or, you know, you was romance, whatever. It's a scary situation to be in. Because at that moment when I seen that, I believed that he had snapped. So I thought, this man snapped. Do you know what I mean? But I'll go into it a bit more. So my opinion on this is it's really fucking out of order. And everybody should feel safe in the home. Everybody, especially when you're a woman, you should feel safe in your home. All right? So we're going to move on to the next one. This is Rickster turning up to Corey's. And like I say, guys, everybody involved in this, right? And I'm going to put this out there. Me and Luke didn't want to be involved. We don't want to be involved. And that's the fucking gospel truth. We do not want to be involved in this. I've hardly platformed any of it, you know. Same goes for Luke. You know, various things we have. Yeah, I know, he tried the door handle, I know. And what he done is fucking, it's disgusting. You can't defend it, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're going back at each other. The most disgusting things have been said, you know, baby loss has been mocked, whatever. But turning up to people's property, especially a woman when she's on her own, and I can't stand that. I'm not gonna lie. But it's wrong. Leave it in the hands of the police. Go to the police. And if the police ain't acting fast enough, get on to the police. Go and see a solicitor. Because now what you've done is you've lost your argument because you've took it too far. So now you ain't the victims. And it's as simple as that. Right, so this is when he turned up at Corey's. just want to say, you know, I've sat here and I've defended Natalia on the whole baby loss thing, which at the time when it was being mocked and songs were being played, I thought it was disgusting, and we supported her in here just like many of TikTok did. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, I will be honest with my opinions. Don't matter what's happened, I'll be honest with my opinions. Because sometimes people get pushed, people are pushed. But this is just next level. Right, so Rickster turns up to chorus.
Do you notice how he's quite polite on knocking mine like that? He was quite polite knocking mine like that. He was bashing hell out of Chelsea's. Here you go, here's the 2 mobiles.
Yo, Corey, come out to have a chat with you, pal. Come and have a little chat with me, mate.
No one you got 3 men there. Why would I come anywhere near you when you've got 3 men there? Absolutely not happening.
And this is the thing, why didn't Corey answer? Because there was 3 blokes at his door. If it was one person, right? If it was